The day after my 18th birthday, my parents threw me out with 2 trash bags. 12 years later, they were standing at my door asking for money. I, 29F, was kicked out of my parents' house the day after my 18th birthday. My parents always favored my younger brother. He got a car at 16, his college was fully paid for, and if he made a mistake, it was always because he's young. When I turned 18, my dad told me it was time to learn responsibility, and gave me 2 weeks to move out. I worked at a diner during the day and cleaned offices at night while attending community college. There were days when I survived on instant noodles because I couldn't afford groceries. Meanwhile, my parents paid for my brother's apartment, tuition, vacations, and even helped him start a business. Every time I struggled, they told me it was building character, so I stopped asking for help. Over the next decade, I worked my way up from receptionist to project manager. I paid off my student loans, bought a condo, and finally built a comfortable life. My brother's story went differently. His business failed, then another one failed, and then another. My parents kept bailing him out. They refinanced their house twice to cover his debts and eventually lost most of their savings. Last year, I got a call from my mother. She was crying because my parents were behind on mortgage payments and needed financial help. For the first time in 12 years, they asked if we could be a family again. I met them for dinner. For 2 hours they explained how hard life had become. Not once did they mention how they treated me. Not once did they apologize. They simply expected me to help. Then my dad said something I'll never forget. You turned out successful because we made you independent. Suddenly everything made sense. In their minds, kicking me out wasn't unfair. It was a gift. I paid the bill, stood up, and told them I wouldn't be giving them money. I said I'd help them create a budget, find financial counseling, and explore options to downsize, but I wouldn't become their retirement plan. My brother called me selfish, and my relatives called me ungrateful. For months, I felt guilty. Then I learned something interesting. A few weeks after our dinner, my parents sold their oversized house and moved into a smaller place they could actually afford. They're doing fine now. The emergency wasn't really an emergency, they just didn't want to change their lifestyle. The biggest twist, my brother moved in with them because he still couldn't support himself. The child they spent years protecting became the adult who couldn't stand on his own, while the child they abandoned became the one everyone expected to save them. I didn't get revenge. Life handled that part on its own.